And on Sunday, Donald Trump spoke to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And the big talk in the West Bank is about Trump's promise to move the U.S. embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Palestinians warn it could plunge the region into a religious war. In this WION exclusive, West Asia Bureau Chief Anchal Vora travelled through Ramallah in the West Bank, just north of Jerusalem, to gauge the Palestinian sentiment. Take a look.
Jerusalem is the heart of Israel and Palestine, and it beats at the Temple Mount, as Jews call it, or Haram is Sharif, as Muslims do. A confluence of the three biggest monotheistic religions, this is where the belief is that God made Adam, where Abraham attempted to sacrifice his son Isaac, what Crusaders made into a church, and what is the third most revered site in Islam. Muslims believe it is here that Allah asked the Prophet to look at Kaaba. So, jurisdiction over this edifice is a highly sensitive matter. Since Israel annexed East Jerusalem from Jordan, where the old city with this structure lies, Jordan manages its affairs through a Waqf board. But now, Donald Trump says he will move the American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, which in effect is America's strongest acknowledgement of Jerusalem being Israel's capital and not a disputed territory. So, how does Palestine look at this? I travelled to Ramallah, a 15 minutes drive, but an hour-long wait at the checkpoint. So what's behind the wall?
It's the Palestinian area. Palestinians people, they living inside.
Why is there a wall?
Because they are not allowed to go to Jerusalem.
Why?
They're not allowed to go to Jerusalem or to Israel. It's West Bank. They need a special visa to go outside.
Boards directing Israelis to not enter the Palestinian zone. Israeli cars are white with yellow number plates, and Palestinian cars are yellow with green number plates. Exclusion is the name of this game, and Ramallah seems caged within these walls. Graffiti of its hero, Yasser Arafat, on the walls is both a memory and a message. As an Indian, I am welcomed by Jews in Jerusalem and Palestinians in Ramallah alike. The Indian government has traditionally been a supporter of the Palestinian cause, but of late has warmed up to Israel. I meet Abel Tux, a member of the Palestinian People's Party, a communist socialist party that played a big role in the first Palestinian Intifada. Palestinians haven't forgotten their roots. Trump would do well to remember that. Abel warns the president he thinks will bring chaos to the region. Moving of the embassy, he says, is an end to the peace process, an end to the two-state solution.
But if Palestinian people lose hope about the solution, especially about the two-state solution, and Israel is not willing to solve the problem, and Israel is confiscating land every day and building settlements in Palestinian lands every day, it means that there will be no hope for a solution. And when people lose hope, everything is possible, and violence can be not only in Palestine but in general, because we know that the Palestinian problem is the core issue of the conflict in the Middle East, and there is a real danger for violence in general and for religious wars in the region, especially if Donald Trump will support plans of Netanyahu for a Jewish state, which means that they will transfer the whole issue from political to a religious war, which is very, very dangerous in general in Palestine, but in the region. It means that if the United States will support a Jewish state for Israel, some other countries will support some Islamic states as ISIS in Syria, and they were supporting and they are still supporting some kind of religious states in Syria and Iraq. which means that the whole conflict in the region will be a religious war, which is very, very, very dangerous for all of us, for all of the region and for the world in general.
Governing Ramallah, the Fateh party says there will be violence, but has a different plan in mind to take on the might of the US.
What happened in Syria after Russia entered the Syria problem and solved this problem and end the war in Halab, and everything is good now in Syria. We hope what happened in Syria happened in West Bank, and Russia and Putin stand with Palestinian government and with Abu Mazen and stand with us to solve our problem, to demand from Trump to cannot take this decision because everything maybe happened in the future here, in Palestine or in West Bank after Trump took this.
Russia has already been trying to bring the two Palestinian factions, Fatah in Ramallah and Gaza Strip rulers of Hamas, together. Faiz Warda, a Hamas leader, has been arrested 5 times before by both the Israelis and Fatah. He says Russia is a friend.
Our view of Russia is different from America. We look at Russia as a friend. Always in the past, they stand with the Palestine. Russia in the last period are holding a reconciliation process between Fatah and Hamas, so all Palestinian parties are united. Russia is supporting Palestinian struggle.
Russia is being seen as a superpower in this region, so much so that even the Palestinians want Russia to play a much bigger role in the Israel-Palestine conflict. Palestine wants Russia to take on Israel and the US on its behalf. So will Russia give in to the dreams of being the regional hegemon, or will it instead use this as leverage to crack a deal with the US for economic purposes?
Trump phoned Netanyahu days after taking the Oval. While he held off to the announcement of moving the embassy, soon after the phone call, Israel restarted work in settlements in East Jerusalem. In Ramallah in Palestine, Anchal Vora, WION.